Hey everybody, another edition of Bird Brain 66 here with my good buddy Brian Bretsch on the left or the right of me. What's up, Brian?
It's all good. How are you, Andy?
Doing great. Here to look at another fabulous set in our anniversary series. This will be the 2014 Top Stadium Club, or also known as the Stadium Club if you look in one of these famous databases that's out there or on eBay sometimes. This set features 200 cards overall and 12 Cardinals in this particular set. Obviously, there's some inserts, but they're here or there in all these sets, and we don't always entertain those things because it just goes down a rabbit hole every time you do. So it's going to start off with this particular card, Stan the Man. Get my finger out of
Love
the way.
it.
Roy Campanella, as Brian and I had discovered, is catching there. And this photo was actually taken at Ebbets Field, the last year at Ebbets Field in 1957. So just thought that was kind of cool, the historical significance of this particular photo. And it's also in color, 1957. So a lot of times they're still doing a lot of black and white shots. So that's pretty cool that it is in color. And on the back, they got this fabulous portrait of Stan. Don't know, I don't think
Love
that's
it.
from 1957, but nonetheless, they picked the photo and threw it on the back. But I do like the kind of the quality of the card having photos on the front and the back and a little bio and just the career stats at the bottom there for Stan. What's your thoughts on this particular set?
Well, I like before we started recording, you had talked about there was a gap between, when they had a good run of the Stadium Club and then they stopped. So you want to talk about that, and then I'll throw up my first card or two that I like.
Yeah, it stopped in 2008, and actually the only major league person, I shouldn't say that, but the major star on the 2008 set was Pujols. And I think there was three other guys in that particular set, but it was kind of an odd ending to the set back in 2008. And we saw this also occur with the archive set too. So it must have been after all these other, they kind of cornered the market. They decided to bring these sets back after, Fleer Donruss and Upper Deck kind of fell out of the baseball card world at that particular time. So they had to bring all these sets back. There he is, Big City.
I love this card. Great action shots. I know you were starting to talk about that. That's the one thing that I do like about the Stadium Club. I'm not a fan of that it doesn't have a border around it, but I like the fact that the majority of the shots are action. What do you got?
20 game winner of that of 2014. So not to be confused, but Mr. Wainwright just left us. Great shot of Wayno, and also I like this. I actually like the picture on the back. Dressing the media after his 20th win, apparently. At least that's what we can think. Wayno and then Lance Lynn, who's not in this set, actually won 15 games that year, 20 game winner and then a 15 game winner. So we're hoping Lance Lynn can do that again in 2024 or even better. So unfortunately, Lance Lynn did not make this set. There he is, another flash from the past. Mr. Matt Carpenter, waiting to see what he looks like this coming in this year. Is it going to be the full beard, mustache, or clean shaven? There it is, the clean face right on the back. We don't know what we're in for, but nonetheless, excited to see Carp come back, possibly. We'll see what he does in spring training. My
It's a
favorite,
good looking
oh,
reunion set.
well, yeah, that's basically what this is turning out to be. We might as well just brought Dueno back and also, Yachty. And speaking of the devil, Yachty is back with the club in a kind of an advisor role. But my favorite photo of this particular set is this one. I don't recall ever seeing this on a card before, so it's nice to see this particular picture because you'd normally see Yachty in some kind of action pose in the catcher's gear, hat backwards or mask on or whatever it happens to be. So yeah, it is kind of a reunion this year for the Cardinals. 'Cause-
I'm only putting it back up there just for a second, so I'm curious. Is he celebrating because he's scoring a crucial run in the game? But knowing Yachty, there was probably some play going on, and he throws his hands up to block the view of the opposing catcher to like throw to second base when somebody's trying to stretch from a a single to a double, or from first to second, or go from a single to a double. So I like that particular shot. Who do you have next?
I got one of our tenured second baseman next to Tommy Herr in the most recent years because we've gone through a lot of second basemen and we're still doing that as of this year. Should have brought Colton back too, but he's still around, I think, somewhere. But this is actually his rookie card, one of many rookie cards that we see in Tops every year. Every set has a rookie card. It's just what one you decide is a actual rookie card. I always think it's just a base set myself, the regular base set. And there he is on the back.
I like that shot with the shoulder. Pretty cool.
Did you know there's another guy that's not in here that came back this year, is coming back this year too? Daniel Descalso was actually on the 2014
Oh,
team.
that's right.
Played in 104 games, and he also had one relief appearance.
That's right.
There it is, a celebratory action shot with Adams and Holiday. I like that shot. Looks like Holiday is going to crush Adams, or vice versa, because they're both pretty big dudes. So
Looks like a tag team from a wrestling match, like from one of the like WD or something like that. That one cracks me up, and I always talk about how freaking big his forearms are. And we've talked about this in the past. I know that you love lifting and all that sort of stuff. Matt's just a big guy, and I just his forearms might be the biggest I've ever seen outside of McGuire's.
or Popeye.
Well, that's true. Yeah, Popeye.
We didn't include him in this particular set.
He may pop up at some
Well,
point
actually, that was actually Garvey's nickname back in the day.
as well.
There's the Wizard.
Ozzy.
Nice shot of him. Looks like he's blasting a homer in this particular photo. And this photo on the back, I've seen several
Oh
times
gosh,
on
yeah.
the other card sets and other cards. So kudos on the one on the
Again,
front.
my pet peeve though. Again, Ozzy batting. I know he when he retired collected like 2,100 career hits or whatever. But I sure wish there was more of him fielding. But hey, it is what it is. Good card,
There you go.
Trevor.
45 saves in 2014 for Trevor. Could have brought him back. I mean, the fascinating thing, so that was 10 years ago. So a number of these guys are still around or have just retired. So it's pretty fascinating that that many of them are still left around.
And shout out to Trevor. He does follow us, by the way.
We could have brought him back too. We need bullpen help. So
Yeah, I don't know if he's officially retired or not. I know that he was working out as of like last year or the year before, trying to, come back with somebody. And then we would both be remiss if we didn't show Oscar Tavares. And the ceiling for this guy was pretty incredible. And we've talked numerous times about the void that he left when he passed away in the automobile accident with his girlfriend, and the trades and all that sort of stuff that they had to make in order to try to fill that outfield void. And anyway, it set him back for sure.
Waka Waka Waka, there he is. Another guy still around there, out there somewhere. This is probably the only one that has an action shot on both sides.
Oh, yeah, I never even paid any attention to that. You're right. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's a shame he had so many issues with his arms. I know that his delivery was really the part of the problem, but great stuff. Was, was it the one hitter that had in the playoffs?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, great individual. Great individual effort. So I know we got Shelby Miller in here yet. Did we cover everybody else? I think we did. I'm just
Yep,
looking
we
real
we
quick.
we actually got everybody because it's kind of a small set this time around, but nonetheless, pretty decent looking set. Stadium clubs for me is kind of hit or miss, depending on the photos and who's in it, and also And without the borders each year, it's dependent upon how the framework of the lettering and everything goes on the card as well, how it makes the card actually look.
I think it was a good comeback after a couple of years of, on hiatus. I like it. Probably my all-time favorite, just to be outside of the stand card with Campy, is again this one, just because it's different and obviously, a big run, big home run right there. So that's cool. So we always have to transition before we close out our show with I'm going to start calling you Captain Pop Culture, Mr. Pop Culture. So what do you got from
Dr. Culture.
2014? Doctor Culture. No, 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 no. That sounds like there's an infection some going on somewhere, and and it's in some sort of lab
Oh,
under
that's
some
true.
sort of a microscope. Yeah. So what do you got for us? Number one song, what do you have?
Happy by Pharrell Williams. Got that. Number one movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. And number one album, one of your all-time favorites is Frozen, the Frozen soundtrack. Just kidding. That's not one of his all-time favorites, but I just thought I'd say that.
Yeah,
But
I think
there's a couple good runs of movies in 2014 actually for a change. The Hunger Games debuted that first movie back then, which was I've watched that several times through three or four different
right.
kids actually. I'm not trying to forget a kid, but
Yeah, don't.
one hasn't watched it yet. So
Yeah, well, just be careful. Yeah, you don't want to get judged on your parental scorecard.
I know. And Captain America, Winter Soldier was out there. There's always been a lot of Marvel over the past decade or so. And but my favorite movie, like, other than Guardians of the Galaxy, was John Wick because that came out in 2014. I love that series. So that kind of took on a cult following as well. So really like that. Well, Keanu,
Yep,
he
yeah,
does a pretty good job.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would agree with you. It definitely has a cult following, and it just seems like every time when he does decide to make one, it just builds on the previous ones, and the legend as it's supposed to grows. And overall, good actor and good dude. And what was it?
Yes.
Ted and
Well, Bill and
what was
Ted's
it? Ted?
Excellent Adventure.
Gosh dang it! Thank you. Jeez Louise. Yeah, showing my age by not remembering who the other dude was, but I know that Keanu Reeves was definitely
Well, that's
in
Alex
that.
Winter
So
that in that role, by the way. Just because you said you didn't. How I know
that's right.
that? Don't ask me, but it just popped into my head. But
Okay. Well, I was
and
going to ask you.
George Carlin's actually in the movie as well. Bill and Ted, you know.
That's right. That is right. So we just appreciate again that you guys are joining us again. A lot of fun for Andy and
Oh,
I.
hold on a second. If you want a great album out of that year, Foo Fighters, Sonic Highways. So there you go.
Yes.
That was my
Yep.
music choice for 2014.
Yep. And it
Just had
still
to
is
throw that out there because I always love a good Foo album.
that's
I'm,
always, I mean, and they're still going strong too. So that's the other benefit of it. So
yeah.
Dave Grohl, I just saw him in a video just the other day rocking out. So love him. So on that note, everybody, we're on not all, I shouldn't say that, we're on many of the social media platforms under BirdBrains66 at BirdBrains66. We've done a few radio interviews here of late that we'll share, so we appreciate that. But again, I
Were you
know
on?
it's,
Weren't you on Oprah or something like that too?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for remembering that. 19 1985. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so we're all over the place. Plug in, and again, we continue to things and just having a good time. And remember, we have regular jobs, so if we miss a show here or there, we apologize. But just life in general. So on that note,
Or
we
if we
appreciate it,
screw up,
Andy. Great
yeah.
show as
Or if we
always.
screw up too. That's another
Yeah,
thing.
please call us out. I'm the one that usually makes the mistakes when we start talking, getting years crossed and all that sort of jazz, and calling out the wrong actor's name. So Andy's just used to it and plays along with my goofiness. So we appreciate it as always, guys. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See you next time.